A reading from the Sorcerer's Tower, Chapter 3, The Command Scroll. As background, the village is being attacked by sorcerers who are trying to steal its magical red stone. They've sent a giant, a dwarf, and a little girl to get it, and Tamley, Kim, and Mel are trying to stop them. This is Tamley. He's the only kid in the village who can't do magic. He's brave but clumsy, and everything he does goes wrong. Kim stood up on the table, raised her scroll in one shaking hand and cried, "By the power this scrying scroll holds over the book of spells, stop!" This is Kim. She's got oodles of magic, but she's really reckless and always getting into trouble. Tamley shivered, for Kim was trying to change something magical that had already happened, and it was a perilous thing to do. He felt a pain in his head and couldn't see for a second. The dark magic was getting stronger. The giant's arm stopped in midair, frozen by Kim's spell. Drops of sweat the size of pigeons' eggs appeared on his forehead as he struggled to move. The dwarf's head popped over the rim of the portal. His lips moved in a counterspell. Then the giant's hand jerked forward and grasped the red stone. "No!" Kim cried. She jumped down, fumbling in her shoulder bag. Tamley's mouth had gone dry. "Kim, whatever you're going to do, don't!" Over by the door, Mel's eyes went wide with horror, for Kim was waving another scroll, a black one with red, glowing edges. It was a command scroll, magic so dangerous that only a powerful sorcerer could use it safely. She shook the scroll open, scanned it, her lips moving, then said, "Giant, by the power of this command scroll, stop!" The giant froze, and this time the dwarf could not unfreeze him. This is the dwarf. The book of spells fell to the floor beside the red stone. A spark zipped from the book to the stone, and the writing on it shone silver. The book took on a purple glow, but the stone looked fuzzy now. "What's happened?" said Mel. Tamley shuddered. "I think the book has broken free of our stone's good magic, and it's trying to turn it to evil." Kim held up the command scroll. Black flames were dripping from it, forming a fiery puddle on the floor, and the floorboards began to smoke. "Come back, giant," she said, quietly this time. There came a rumble from the other side of the portal. The town hall shook, and the giant was forced out like a cork popping from a bottle. "What is your name?" said Kim, struggling to keep her voice steady. The giant's clothes were torn to rags, and a river of orange blood ran from a gash on his shoulder. Standing with his head twisted sideways, he said, as though every word were being dragged out of him, "My name is Horace." The words came strangely to Tamley, echoing as the past was heaved unwillingly into the present. He took a step forwards and another. He had to stop Kim before this got any worse. Mel was creeping across, trying to work a charm with his fingers, but Tamley knew kid's magic was no use here. "Don't, Mel, you'll only make things worse." Tamley pointed to Kim, gesturing that they should grab her and snatch the command scroll. Mel bit his lip and nodded. "Giant," said Kim, "I command you." Tamley felt sick. Her magic was going to go terribly wrong. He knew it. "No more!" boomed Horace, writhing in agony. One arm flew up, smashing a large hole in the ceiling. Black ceiling dust sifted down, coating his head and shoulders like soot. "Ready?" Mel mouthed. "I command you," Kim repeated. The dwarf sprang onto the rim of the portal, wobbling on his stumpy legs. Reaching down, he flipped the pages of the book, jammed a stumpy finger between them, and sang 3 words in a language Tamley had never heard before. "Grofos Anha Rog." "Go!" hissed Tamley, darting at Kim. Mel ran at her from the other side. At the dwarf's words, the pain lines on Horace's face eased, and he lunged, caught Kim around the waist and lifted her high. She began kicking him and beating at his hand. The command scroll, still dripping black flame, fluttered to the floor. Mel dived for it, but it landed in a puddle of fire, blazed up and burned away. Kim tried to reach into her bag for another scroll, but the bag was trapped under Horace's arm. She bit him. Horace squeezed her until her tongue poked out of her mouth. "Stop, Kim!" Tamley screamed. "He'll kill you!" She stopped, staring down at him with huge, terrified eyes. "Help!" she croaked. How could Tamley fight a giant and a sorcerer dwarf? He had to try. He picked up a chunk of rock. Mel held a length of timber like a spear, and they moved towards Horace, but he knocked them across the room with his free arm. The dwarf climbed back through the portal with the book, and again Tamley felt that pain in his head. Horace was sucked after the dwarf with Kim. The little girl reached down and took the red stone, which still looked oddly blurred, and with a pop, the portal winked out of existence. Kim was gone, and how would they ever get her back?